Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He'd already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy? Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there. Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there.
Through Diddy's arrest, newly surfaced footage of a wild party featuring Leonardo DiCaprio and Chris Brown has taken the internet by storm in the wake of serious charges against the music mogul. It was inevitable that more secrets would come to light, but this particular footage goes beyond the charges, pulling back the curtain on the wild exclusive parties that have been whispered about in celebrity circles for years now. As we examine the contents of this video, we have to ask ourselves, how deep does this party culture go, and what roles figures like DiCaprio and Chris Brown play? Diddy has long been renowned as the king of celebrity parties, from his days as a rising star in the music industry to his current standing as a household brand. He has crafted an image of riches, power, and luxury. Central to that image are his infamous freak-off parties, gatherings that have attracted the biggest names in entertainment. These weren't just your standard Hollywood parties, they were larger-than-life events with an air of mystery. And as we are starting to learn a dark undercurrent, one of the biggest names consistently tied to Diddy's events is Leonardo DiCaprio, known for his acting talent and environmental activism. When it comes to his personal life, DiCaprio has always maintained a low profile. However, behind closed doors, DiCaprio has frequently been photographed attending some of the most exclusive gatherings that Diddy hosts. This new film highlights his involvement. How deeply was DiCaprio embedded in Diddy's inner circle? Did he participate in or witness some of the behaviors that have recently come to light? Now, we all know DiCaprio has a reputation for being incredibly private. He is rarely seen out in public unless it's at a high-profile event, and he maintains a tight control over his public image. However, insiders suggest that his attendance at Diddy's parties wasn't just casual. The allegations have been floating for years that DiCaprio was often a major guest at these occasions, and the nature of these parties raises serious problems. DiCaprio's team has kept mute in the wake of these revelations, but the public is ready for answers. What was he doing at these events? Was he just a bystander, or is there more to the story? Chris Brown, on the other hand, is a considerably more controversial figure. Over the years, Brown has been no stranger to legal difficulties, public scrutiny, and charges of misbehavior. His involvement in this recently released tape adds yet more element to the complex story surrounding his career. As someone who has continuously been at the heart of both fame and infamy, Brown's presence at Diddy's parties would not come as a surprise, but in light of Diddy's arrest and the charges surrounding these events, his participation in this particular party video is raising eyebrows. Brown has always had a repute as a dynamic performer, and his ability to light up the room, whether on stage or at a party, is undeniable. However, his involvement in events tied to Diddy's freak-off parties could place him in an uncomfortable position. While many fans have stood by Brown through his public struggles, others are speculating whether his association to Diddy's problematic party scene heralds something more. For years, Diddy's parties were synonymous with glamour, excess, and exclusivity. But what made these gatherings stand out wasn't just the opulent settings or the star-studded guest list. It was the UN's spoken understanding that anything could happen. There was a sense that these events operated by their own rules, where normal boundaries didn't apply, and now that the footage is coming to light, the consequences of that mindset are becoming clear that he first began throwing these legendary parties in the late 1990s.
It's not so cool when you start to own things. See what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like, there's a point, they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was, for Ciroc. So he didn't have ownership of that at any point, but he was getting a lot of money, almost like $60 million a year. So you see him go to Daily on is when you see him have some issues. And these people have really strong relationships. Don't think that the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case faster because he's making them uncomfortable. That's a big part of it. The spirits business is not governed. They got a discus board that they created, right? And you got two companies that are $3 billion a year, and Beam Centauria and Diageo. The distribution level, it's very hard for you to get things to a point where you can do the numbers right now. They incentivize the sales force by giving them box bonuses. And then when you sell a product, you get the bonuses off the boxes that's there. But you make that no matter what product you're selling. So if you sell Hennessy or Remy out the gate, they start to put downward pressure on the new companies.
And you know what's so crazy is, bro, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this, and yo, it's a lot of stories that goes around in this industry about not just him, other people. Jimmy Iovine. Ain't nobody talking about Jimmy Iovine. He got sexual charges and everything on him, but he got those publicists that's keeping it out off of CNN. It's keeping it off the major news reports. Nobody's talking about that. This is something that goes on, man, that they're gonna push up under the rug, and a few years later, Bad Boy 5, 6, 7, 8 will be out.
To do the book because I'm not a rapper, obviously, or anything like that, but I've been in the business and been around the business.
What's up with Dwight Howard in Mexico?
You know, they don't got paparazzi out there like that. You know what I mean? They down there hooping. He going to the club with these same Trump ladies.
Doing? Just having a little drink before my car picks me up. Where are you going? I'm gonna go to join Diddy. He's doing that. Rick Ross is doing a little concert this afternoon. Really? Honestly, they get bigger. No, I just lifted this bra up. It's like night and day. I need to have my bras. I feel sitting up at this. Yeah, you do. Level at all times. They were like down to here. That's life-changing. Life-changing, but it gives me back fat. Gotta pick or choose your battles. That's what I learned in my life. Yeah. So why do you care to go to this? Because I was invited and I think it would be fun. When are you gonna act your own age? It's like rap crew, like Rick Ross and Diddy. Do you think this is like your crowd? I know a thing or two about rap music. Who's the boss? Me? No.
God, maybe going down on him. Mm-hmm. And he's back there rolling his eyes, he's hiding the mother, and when he put his head down, there's one of them white boys sucking on him.
Oh.
You understand? That has happened. You understand what I'm saying? Then you got these guys who, they go into these Turkish houses. Once you get to that door, you don't go back in there. But you know what they do in the Turkish houses. Or you can assume what they do, quote unquote.
Gonna inspire. When I had nothing in me to give. Like, I let one human being make me so low that, like, I didn't even remember who I was. I was scared to get in the studio. Like, I didn't believe in myself. All of a sudden, in Miami, I started catching a vibe as soon as I went to Miami. Like, as soon as I changed locations, I started catching the vibe. And then one day I got the vibe to time to go to New York. And you were there and you saw what was happening. It started being incredible. Coco Chanel, Miami, Good Form. All of those things just started as mumbles in the studio in New York.
LeBron James comments on P. Diddy getting arrested and basically saying that he had a weird feeling today was the day the feds will actually catch up to Diddy. I guess we can all confirm that LeBron James was the anonymous tipster that gave up. No. Yo, I'm keeping a glass of beer. Y'all remember before a couple months ago that we saw that LeBron James was saying, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." Some people will say that LeBron James should go to jail. Chill out, y'all. Right? We all know that this is a troll post. Well, it is actually true that P. Diddy did go to jail, though. But I mean, about LeBron James' whole situation is crazy, and that's lies. But it's still funny just to see that. Feel me? Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the whole P. Diddy situation and LeBron James. But you Ray Snow, what's up?
Party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote. If you have one, yeah. Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. I feel like, well, we still have some time to go, you know, I can blow here. Okay.
Your parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. We ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You gonna hear about my party? They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. You know, whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizon, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. It ain't nothing but break it down racial barriers, break it down generation barriers. People from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z, Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on.
Hey, speaking of
this
love,
is love.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
This show has gotten crazier since the last time
It's all about love, though. That's not true?
You really heard that?
Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. What is this?
I see you always gallivanting around to all these trips that Kim and I aren't invited on.
You wouldn't pick up for the weekend and leave your kids? You don't have help on the weekends.
I'm not saying I want to go.
Oh, dis.
So who was with you this weekend?
A bunch of my friends.
Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber,
So far,
French
so good.
Montana.
Do you even know half the people you're naming?
No.
Are you drinking, Chloe? No.
You have to get these margaritas out of here.
Why aren't you drinking?
Yeah, but last night.
She didn't go to bed. I haven't been to bed yet.
You haven't?
I want to be Chloe when I grow up, Court. Oh, you're just so little.
Like my balls are just going.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Well, this party, I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it.
His renowned all-white Hampton parties laid the groundwork for the custom of boundary-pushing G-gatherings. The dress code was straightforward, white from head to toe, but the exclusivity was unmatched. From Hollywood celebrities to music icons, everyone wanted to be there. The atmosphere was electrifying, and Diddy made sure that everyone had an unforgettable time. As Diddy's parties continued over the years, rumors about what happened behind closed doors became louder. There have been ongoing rumors of drug use, promiscuity, and far more sinister activities. Attendees like Chris Brown and DiCaprio were there for the glamour, but it's becoming more and more obvious that there was a darker side to these events. The footage shows Leonardo DiCaprio mingling in the crowd, embodying the kind of star power that made Diddy's parties legendary. Although some find the new video alarming, it appears to support the long-held suspicion that Diddy's parties weren't just crazy, they were possibly deadly. Due of his environmental advocacy and desire to lead a more sustainable lifestyle, Leonardo DiCaprio has reportedly distanced himself from Diddy in recent years, according to those close to him. Chris Brown's career has been a roller coaster, known for both his immense talent and his troubled personal life. DiCaprio's current image doesn't exactly align with the wild party scene that Diddy has been known for, but that doesn't change the fact that DiCaprio was a staple at these gatherings for years. Was he unaware of the full extent of what was happening, or was he ignoring the more troubling aspects of these gatherings? Brown's participation in Diddy's parties is hardly shocking, but as the video goes viral, it begs the question of how these parties and the culture they promoted affected him. Could his association with Diddy's events have contributed to some of the more troubling elements of his career? It's difficult to say for sure, but the more information that becomes available, the more difficult it is to rule out the possibility. As the Southern District of New York continues its probe, Diddy's arrest has surfaced a tidal wave of allegations. More information on Diddy's actions at these parties is emerging, and he faces significant charges of coercion and theft. If found guilty, he could spend decades behind bars. This is not simply a celebrity scandal, it's a legal struggle that might kill his career. As more tapes are discovered, the one showing Leonardo DiCaprio and Chris Brown at one of Diddy's parties might just be the beginning. The public's perception of Diddy, which has been meticulously constructed over the years, is being forced to change. For decades, he was regarded as the life of the party, a businessman who knew how to bring people together for a good time. However, that perception is now coming apart, and it's uncertain if Diddy or his well-known friends will be able to avoid the fallout. Even if DiCaprio and Brown may not have been directly involved in Diddy's legal issues, their participation in these incidents raises significant questions regarding accountability and complicity. It is impossible to overlook their attendance at these events. The world is watching to see what will happen next, and as more information becomes available, the truth about Diddy's parties and the celebrities who attended them will finally be revealed. However, it is evident that this story is far from over. How much did they know about what was going on behind the scenes? Were they active participants in the more dubious aspects of Diddy's gatherings, or were they just bystanders? Diddy's parties, which were once thought to be glamorous and exclusive, are now at the center of a much larger conversation about power, privilege, and exploitation in Hollywood. Music.